Bob Diamond faces grilling by MPs next week. GAP News understands that more executives from Barclays could be called, depending what is revealed, and that the bosses of other banks could also be told to appear before MPs, but this won't happen until the Financial Services Authority finishes its report. This is the GAP Morning News, also on the programme. No sign of Russia ditching Syrian ally. Andy Murray triumphs in late night marathon. And Sir Mick Jagger rocking a daughter's wedding. Good morning, I'm Gary Pendlebury. The Chief Executive and Chairman of Barclays will be grilled by MPs, it is thought, next week. GAP News understands now that more executives from Barclays could be called depending what is revealed, and that the bosses of other banks could also be told to appear before MPs, but this won't happen until the Financial Services Authority finishes its report. At the moment, the political battle is whether to have an inquiry Leveson style or an inquiry light. Labour wants a long, detailed one. The government just one looking at the settling of LIBOR rates and the punishments around that. It all feels a bit like the events surrounding the expenses and the hacking. On expenses, the opposition with David Cameron led the running and Gordon Brown had to play catch up on hacking. Ed Miliband was early and tough in his condemnation of News International. And now he has called for a public inquiry when the government is lukewarm on it, but mindful that this could be the popular move with voters. Where the government is upping the pressure is on bonuses. Mr. Diamond has already said he won't take his bonus for the year, but now the Treasury Minister Mark Hoban has told GAP News any bonuses earned at that time by those responsible for the LIBOR scam should be clawed back. So the pressure is still on Bob Diamond. The American-born banker will appear before MPs on Wednesday. Primetime viewing, it will be Bob on the 4th of July. A conference of the major world powers has adopted a peace plan for Syria, but it is unlikely to stop the killing in the country anytime soon. The plan hammered out at a meeting in Geneva would include transitional government, although there's no explicit guidance on whether President Assad would have to step down. Russia has until now opposed this. At its core, the US and Russia continue to clash over what to do with the President Assad. Foreign Secretary William Hague warned that failure in Syria could cause catastrophe. Russia, on the other hand, would not budge, insisting government in Syria should be formed by mutual consent. The Syrian conference ended with the same stalemate as it began with, but the United Nations dressed the meeting up as a success. Sports, and Andy Murray was a man in a hurry as he booked himself in a place in the 4th round of Wimbledon last night, with the latest finish at the Grand Slam ever. The British #1 raced against the clock to battle former Grand Slam finalist Marcos Baghdatis in a marathon match that broke a world record for the latest finish at SW19. Amid fears that the match would have to be suspended until Monday, the Scot, buoyed by support from fans who cheered and chanted at various points, took the game 7-5, 3-6, 7-5, 6-1 to rapturous applause. Spectators sat for several hours with the centre court roof having to be closed halfway through, and the match did not finish until just after 11 p.m, the cut-off time matches usually have to finish by. Murray, watched last night by mother Judy Murray and girlfriend Kim Sears, is the only Briton left in the Grand Slam and was battling against a rival coached by his own former coach, Miles McLachlan. The Scot made his now trademark gesture of pointing to the sky after the game and stopped to sign autographs on his way off the court. Fans were left on to the edges of their seats as Murray raced against the time to finish the match, which saw him struggle with apparent injury and suffer difficulties as a ball fell out of his pocket several times. It was after 7 p.m. when the game started, after 2 lengthy matches involving Serena Williams and David Ferrer. Murray did not tie up his victory until 11:02 p.m, burying the previous record for the latest finish of 10:58 p.m. set by Novak Djokovic and Olivier Rochus 2 years ago. The official curfew is 11 p.m, the time that latest night's final game began. Afterwards, Murray said that he was not sure what the rules were for late finishes, but he wanted to finish the game on Saturday. Today is traditionally a rest day at the tournament, and he would have faced a nail-biting wait to finish the match. Murray will now face Croatia's 16th seed Marin Cilic on Monday. Rolling Stone Sir Mick Jagger was no shrinking violet at his daughter Jade's wedding today, as he sported a striking purple striped suit at the service at a luxury hotel in the Cotswolds. Wearing a white bridal gown she had designed, Jade Jagger, 40, married her DJ fiancé Adrian Fillery at a service at Aynhoe Park in Aynhoe near Banbury. Her mother Bianca Jagger opted for a more demure attire, wearing a black dress with a white hat and gloves. Mr. Fillery, who could be seen chatting and being congratulated by guests outside the hotel, wore a cream suit with a dark blue tie. Among guests attending were Jade's stepmother Jerry Hall, who, like her ex-husband, chose a purple outfit, although not one quite as striking. Ms. Hall, dressed in a simple lilac suit, was accompanied by her partner Warwick Hemsley. The pair both left the reception at 4:30 p.m, 5.5 hours after the wedding ceremony, in a silver saloon. Supermodel Kate Moss, whose daughter Lilia Grace was reportedly a flower girl at today's service, could be seen smoking and chatting to guests outside the hotel entrance, along with Lizzie Jagger, who was wearing a multicoloured tartan jacket and had her hair tied back in a bun. Jade's 2 daughters, Assisia, 20, and Amber, 17, from a relationship with artist Piers Jackson, were reported to be bridesmaids at today's service. A huge white marquee was erected at the back of the hotel for the reception, which is set to go on into the early hours of this morning. It is believed the family had booked the hotel out for the weekend, with guests arriving on Friday for a pre-wedding party. Guests were set to go on rocking into the early hours as Sir Mick, was due to perform at the reception. Okay, a quick look at the papers now. The Sunday morning papers. And firstly, The Observer. Throwout bank cheats, cable tells shareholders. The Sunday Telegraph says Europe, the new Tory battle lines. And finally here, the Sunday Times. God save the Queen, test for migrants. And that is the way the news looks this morning. We're back with more news at 12:15. Meanwhile, from all of us, goodbye and thanks for watching. Do have a great day.